Hi guys, Lexie here with another video. Unfortunately, I couldn't post yesterday because I had a power outage that lasted for 3 days and I didn't have any electricity, so my keyboard wouldn't turn on, obviously, and it was also stuck in the cold for 3 days, so it's another reason it wouldn't turn on because it's kind of old and it does that because it's a little quirky. So I decided today I would take the time and make a behind the lyrics video because I haven't done one of these since last year. The last time I did it, I was talking about the song 2+2 from my band's EP that we released last year, Frantic Endeavor, and we also just released an acoustic version of Me Versus Me, so I figured this song has the most relevance right now. And the last time I did one of these videos, I got some positive feedback and everyone seemed to like hearing me talk, so I decided I would do it again and see how it goes this time. So starting with the first verse, I'm just going to get right into it. The first verse I wrote one day because I was actually trying to make a happy, upbeat song, but all that was coming to my mind were these sad, depressing things that I just hated about myself, and I was like, you know what? I have a form of writer's block, but at the same time, I have all this stuff in my head, so I'm going to put that down on paper. And so I just started making a list, and this list entailed all the things that I wasn't happy with at the time and that I hated about myself at the time. So by the end of it, I had a list, and that's how the first verse came to be, because that list turned into a short poem, and then I took that short poem and I played it to my keyboard, and then I came up with a melody, and that's often the approach I take to writing lyrics. So then before I knew it, I had the first verse, and then it goes into saying, not yet, someday, today, tomorrow, and that basically says, you know what, I haven't gotten there yet, I'm not okay yet, but maybe I will be someday, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, we'll see. And then somehow, some way, I'll mask this sorrow. That speaks for itself because it's like, somehow I'll get out of this. Some way I will be better. And then, but until then, I'm going to mask the fact that I'm sad or unhappy right now. I'm going to mask this sorrow. I'm going to hide it. So then it says, I'll lie, I'll hide, I'll shed a tear. Fast forward, it goes into the chorus, and it starts by saying, I'm a fucked up masterpiece. And that is because everything that I had just mentioned before in the first verse kind of goes into that because, yeah, it's fucked up, it's messed up. But it's still something that I have created. It is still something that has, in a way, created who I am. All those past experiences, all the pain, it's created who I am today. So you know what? It's still a creation, and I think it's still a masterpiece no matter how messed up you are or how I am. And that's why I decided to say fucked up masterpiece, because I still want people to know that no matter what they've been through, no matter how you feel at that given time in your life, there's still good to come, and there's still good about you, and you're still a masterpiece. So that starts off the chorus. It says, I'm a hopeless human being. I'm the best liar when it comes to me. And that has to go with the next thing that I say. I just pretend to know who I'm being. And that speaks a lot about, you know, sometimes you don't know exactly who you are or how you want to act. And there's so many different versions of yourself. You don't know which one of those to be. But in reality, you can be all of them. It's just like different people bring out different sides of you, you know? But it also can get to the unhealthy part where you're faking it or you're pretending to be someone you're really not just to fit in or just to feel better about yourself, or you might have someone that you look up to and admire and you want to be just like them, but it becomes this unhealthy obsession and you just can't get away with it. That's unhealthy, and that's when it becomes a problem. So those two lines kind of speak about both sides of that. You know, there's a healthy side where you can do that and like want to try to improve yourself and everything, and you have so many different versions of yourself that you just want to like be them all at the same time, but you can't. But at the same time, it talks about, you know what, I'm a liar when it comes to me. Like, I'm not showing people the real side of me. I'm just putting on a facade, and I'm just pretending that this is who I am so that people will be happy enough or content with who I am. So it says, this is who I am. Can you handle this? This is where I stand. I'm just being honest. And I put those lines in there because I have a lot of people that I grew up with in a very religious tone, and they expected a lot of me, and they expected perfection. They expected me to be a nice, innocent girl who did everything right and followed the rules. And then this is me kind of coming out to everybody who expects so highly of me. Like, you know what? I can't always be that. And I might disappoint, but this is who I am, and this is where I stand now, and you know what, I'm just being honest. I'm just putting it all out there. So then it goes on to say, I'll shake, I'll sob, I'll shed a tear. I'm strong but weak, so real but fake. That all speaks for itself. You know, it's just like these two sides of you that are always in conflict. That's why it's called Me Versus Me, because this song has to do with, you know, this side of you, but there's this side of you, and sometimes they don't mesh very well. Sometimes they collide, and you just have so much going on in your head. So then it says scared, depressed, anxious, nervous, blah, 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 blah. And then it goes on to the second verse, which says that I'm a broken mess, scattered pieces, you know, that relates to what I was saying earlier about, you know, the pain, how broken I am and my issues. And then wondering thoughts that I'm missing, that has to do with my mind and how fast it's always whirling about, and how I can never think straight sometimes because there's just so much going on. I'm so trapped in my head, and sometimes it's hard to get out of that. Clouded mind, that also relates to that, can't make decisions. And want to fast forward time to when I'm winning, you know, like I just want to hurry up and get past this. I want to just hurry up and be in a time where I'm happy and I'm okay and everything is all right. And then trying, but I can't stop the spinning. That relates to what I said earlier about how there's just so much going on in my head that sometimes I don't know how to handle it or what to do. And then frantically starting over, like, all right, I'm going to start over. I'm going to begin again. I'm going to try again and see where this goes. And then inch by inch, you're getting closer. Like, all right, I'm getting closer. I'm almost there. Things are getting better. Maybe it'll be okay. And then it goes into the chorus again, and then it goes into the bridge. And it basically says, there's so much I want to be, so I'm everyone plus me. And then at the end it says, I'm everyone except me. And that has to do with the different versions of myself and the different versions of yourself, again, like I mentioned earlier, because there's so many, and you want to be them all, but at the same time, you can't. And you can't always control which side of you comes out in a given circumstance or when you're around certain people. And so that's what that is talking about. Because in the end, you try so hard to be all you are that sometimes it just gets distorted and you end up being who people expect you to be. And then you're not yourself at all. So then it goes down to say, do you see me? Do you hear me? Do you know me? Do you understand? Can you relate? And that's basically, it's in a way a cry for help. It's like, does anyone see me? Does anyone realize this is happening? Do I have to keep it to myself all the time? Do I have anybody to tell? Is there anybody who will understand me or anybody who's going through this too? Because sometimes, obviously, we're all going through it. But sometimes when you're in that situation, you're so trapped in your head that you feel like you're the only one. So that's what that is talking about. And then it's like, show me what it's like. Take my hand. Lead me to the other side where everything is okay and where I'm fine and where I don't have to feel like this anymore. And then it goes on to say, this is why I sing. This is why I write. This is who I am. And because of all those things I listed in the verses, those are the reasons why I'm a singer and why I write lyrics and songs and I write in my journal and I write stories. And, you know, this is who I am. I'm just putting it all out there. And that's also why I'm quiet sometimes, because I'm so trapped in my head and I have all these things going on underneath. And I know other people do too. So not only is this a song about myself, but also a song that I know other people can relate to, because these are things that we all go through. And then it says, this is why I fight it, because yeah, I fight feeling these negative emotions. I fight feeling this way, and it doesn't always work. And then it says, because once it's ignited, you know, once I feel this way and it just kind of snowballs, then it's hard to get out of it. It's hard to put out that fire, and that's the next line. And then it finishes by saying, then I won't be singing from the choir. And that line holds a lot of meaning for me, because that symbolizes I'm going to take a step back away from my old lifestyle and the way and expectations that I was raised to be in the more traditional sense, and all those, the person that people wanted me to be years ago. I'm going to take a step back from that and say, you know what, that's not what I want anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. So that's what that's talking about. And then it finishes with the last verse, which kind of takes the first verse, turns it all around and makes it a very hopeful ending with like, all right, I'm going to take the opposite of that. You know, instead of sad, you know what, I'm alive, I'm here at least, you know what, I can try again and I'm still here, I'm fulfilled, found. I might still be crazy, I might still have some issues that I have to work through, but you know what, at least I'm loved by my friends and my family, and I'm rich, not necessarily in the aspect of money, because I am by no means rich, unfortunately, yet, but my life is enriched by people that I know and opportunities and experiences that I have, such as You know, being in a band, for instance, and music, playing music, and being surrounded by my friends and family. That can enrich somebody's life. And then it's like, you know what, I'll try some more. I'll keep going. I am, you know, like, I'll just be in this moment. I'm just going to be a person. I'm just going to focus on being right now and not so focus on just like surviving and getting through. And sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to take a step back and say, you know what, sometime I'll fly. Eventually I'll get out of this. You know, I'm going to fight the sorrow. And then right here, I'll stay until tomorrow is the last line that I finish it off with, because it's like, you know what, I'm not going to run away from my problems. I'm not going to run away this time. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to be okay in the end. And then it goes into the chorus one last time, and then that is where the song ends. And that is all. It's been 11 minutes. I hope you're still watching. If you are, thank you very much. I appreciate you listening to my words. And as always, I appreciate your support. If you want to listen to my band's music and you haven't yet, I'll post all the links below. I'll also post the lyrics below so you can read along as you're listening to me talk about it. I hope you all have a lovely week. And until next week, I shall see you soon. Mwah.